We're disappointed we didn't get to come out the win, but understanding there's still a season to play and we still got a lot to play for. We're in the race as much as anybody, so just kind of understanding that and being able to move on will be important this next upcoming week, getting ready for the game.
Tyler, what was the goal on the 2-point conversion play if it went as according to plan? What were you guys looking for there?
We were looking to convert and get 2 points.
Were you hoping to throw though, or was that a run play for you?
Yeah, I had to run and throw option.
When you just look at this game overall, you had spurts on offense where you guys moved the ball very effectively, some drives where you weren't. How do you just sum up the offense playing this game overall?
Yeah, I think we, like you said, we had some really good stuff, but I think there's a lot of stuff we need to clean up and some shots that we missed that could have been big plays and could have changed the game. So I think just staying consistent to the whole game will be important in these next important games.
Do you guys feel like you took a step forward offensively in this game despite the loss?
Yeah, I mean, I think looking at it, like I said, we did a lot of good things, but there's a lot of things we can clean up. So I think there's opportunity to grow. So that's always good from this point, and knowing we can be better than what we did. And we still had a pretty not a bad day on offense. We could be better, but just knowing there's more upside is good.
Were there any of those good things specifically that you felt like maybe you weren't hitting on earlier this season that you hit today?
No, not off the top of my head. I'm not sure.
You guys fought back all day, down 11, 18 in the first half, 14, 15 points in the second half. What do you take from, fighting back and making a respectable game?
Yeah, I think, it kind of speaks to the team mentality, and we had each other's backs. And, I mean, even in the locker room, everybody still had each other's backs, and we know kind of what our situation is, and we also got each other, and we know that. So, it's, just keep building on that.
Tyler, how big of a boost is it for this offense to have Nick and Catron running the ball at the level they are right now?
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, to have two backs back there that are big, home run hitters, and to be able to block for them is awesome. So to keep building on, their momentum they have right now will be big.
Tyler, when you look at this week overall, the week of prep and all those types of things, what do you think this team gained this week?
I mean, I think we had some good, like I said, we had some good stuff, we had some bad stuff. So seeing the good stuff is always good for us, and then being able to learn from what we did not as good and things we could do better will be big for us. So just keeping that mentality and being able to grow from it.
You obviously had the close game against Ohio State earlier this year, and then close again with potential chances to tie it late. Does that frustration build when it kind of happens again, that you're in that position and one thing or another doesn't go your way?
Yeah, I think more it's just understanding when you're playing good teams like them and the mistakes kind of have to come to a limit, and on offense, turning the ball over twice is something you can't do in a game like that versus a team like that, and we know that. So getting that fix will be big for us, and that's what we have to do.
You guys handled the last loss pretty well in terms of leadership and bouncing back. How critical are those things now with more football to be played?
Yeah, I think they're very critical, and I'm not worried about kind of our team's mentality and how we'll handle it. We got a lot of mature guys and a love for each other on the team, so I think that'll be something we'll be capable of doing and have to do.
What's the mood in the locker room after a game like this? I'm sure there's disappointment, but also knowing that there's still games to be played.
Yeah, I mean, obviously tonight, you're going to be disappointed. You lose a big game like that where you had chances to win it. But like I said, understanding and being able to move on tomorrow and Monday and start getting prepared for whoever we're going to be playing next will be important. I think we'll do a great job of that.
Was there any message that anybody gave in the locker room, whether it was a coach or a senior leader such as yourself, like anything of that nature?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking to each other, so just keep that in there.
How do you, like what he was asking a second ago, how do you compartmentalize the idea of losing but also knowing a new season starts for you guys tomorrow? Is it different than other losses during the regular season or at any point in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I think just kind of this year in general, obviously having 1 or 2 losses is a lot different than a year ago. So just, understanding that and being able to move on and prepare.
Hey, Tyler, what would you say about your quarterback, Drew? I mean, stayed in the game late after he took some big hits, make some clutch throws and in crunch time, even though it didn't amount to a win. What can you say about Drew?
Yeah, I think he's a competitor, and that's a guy that we want to play for as offense, and him being our quarterback. And then when Bo comes in, it's the same thing. So we got 2 great leaders back there, but Drew did awesome today, and we got his back, and we're gonna keep playing for him.
When you go, blow for blow with the #1 team in the country, hold your ground, does that reaffirm to you that you guys can play with anyone, that you can beat anyone?
Yeah, I think we kind of have, going to every game with that mentality, and then, just cleaning up the stuff that we can, and when we are playing these good teams like this will be important.
How important is this week off for you, and how do you kind of plan on handling it?
Yeah, I think, having some time to recover will be good, and then making sure we're still working on stuff or anything really that you've been kind of hard to do in the pace of a regular season. To have an extra week will be big, and just kind of getting back on track with everything.
Running game seemed to really take shape for you guys in the second half. What do you say about you guys being able to play that physical side? Obviously, do a lot of tempo. Obviously, they attack vertically with you and some of the other things you can do downfield. But the running game seemed to really bounce off for you guys today.
Yeah, I think, that's kind of our mentality. We know running the ball is going to be important in every game we play in, and you got, Nick and Fat Man back there, and it's easy to block for them when they can, make big plays, make guys miss. So it was working well today, so keep building on that will be important as we continue.
Obviously, looking ahead to the playoff game and potentially at Beaver Stadium, colder weather, how important is it kind of establish that run, knowing that teams may not want to tackle players over and over again in a cold environment, potentially at Beaver Stadium?
Yeah, I think it'll be very important. Like any game, run game opens up everything in the offense. If you can't run the ball, it's going to be hard being one-dimensional. So that'll be big down the road.
And for you, obviously, this offense relies a lot on what you can do playmaking wise. How do you, kind of balance knowing that teams have a lot of focus on you, but continue to find ways to get open and make plays in the field?
Yeah, I think it's just doing my part of the offense and what's ever asked of me each play to play, doing that to the best of my ability, and that's kind of how we all look at it. And whoever opens up whoever gets open is kind of what we're focused on.
Tyler, you guys are down 28-10 at one point in the first half. You came back to make it 28-24 at halftime. What was the key for the offense to come back?
Yeah, I think we established the run game. We were running the ball pretty good, and letting those guys do their thing was big, which opens up, some more downfield passes and stuff like that. So I think just kind of trusting our guys and trusting their plan on offense, really, and understanding we were doing good things, so continuing to do that.
And how do you guys use this as motivation going into the college football playoff now?
Yeah, I think, seeing the stuff we did well and then being able to learn from what we didn't do so good will just, it's another opportunity to get better going into these, playoff games coming up.
Now that it's kind of here, have you thought about potentially getting invited to the Heisman ceremony at all?
No, that hasn't really been something I've been thinking about.
What would something like that mean to you?
Yeah, it would be, really cool to be able to represent Penn State at a stage like that, and to be among some really great players. But right now, I'm just focused on being the best teammate I can be and making sure we're doing everything we can to be prepared.
Tyler, what are your thoughts on playing from behind the entire time? The offense did find its rhythm, but it was always playing catch up to Oregon.
Yeah, I think that kind of the offense can do something about that. Just coming out with 7 points on the first drive and not having to kick a field goal on the one that we ended up missing. We missed some plays in the red zone down there to keep the drive going. So I think that kind of comes back to us as an offense and being able to finish when we do get those opportunities.
Is it frustrating playing from behind the entire game, or is it just kind of the fact of the matter?
I think we're just focused on what we have to do, not really playing from behind. Just understand the situations and really just playing our game, not really looking at it in a negative way, just as an opportunity.
The last 15-20 seconds, we see the confetti coming down. How tough is that in that moment for you guys?
Yeah, I mean it's rough. Obviously, you come chance to win the Big Ten championship in a game that you had chances to win it. So it is tough, but obviously tonight it'll hurt, but being able to move on tomorrow, Monday, and start getting prepared for the next opponent, we still have the luxury of being able to have a game to play. So for focusing on that would be big.
There's going to be a lot of stuff in the next 12 hours. People arguing about seeding and the playoff field and this and that, and the value of the fifth seed because people think that's the more favorable path. Have you paid attention to any of that? Do you care where you're seated?
I mean, I could have opinions, but I got as much clue as you do, so really there's no point in looking into it too much until really you understand where you're at, which we'll find out tomorrow.
Do you feel like this team is a worthy team to be that 5 seed that you guys are?
Yeah, I think we played a great game, we played some great teams, but yeah, we're just focused on whatever it ends up, doing whatever we can to make sure we come out with a win.
To go back to what Allar said about watching the confetti fall, how did you handle that? And do you kind of compartmentalize seeing something like that to necessarily replicate it for yourself down the line? What did you do in those kind of final moments?
Usually just find some teammates and walk off the field with them, really. But yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do in that situation. So just kind of find your brothers and walk off the field with them.
Who'd you walk off with?
I think it was actually Coach Howell that I was walking off with.
I'm sure they asked you earlier about the 2-point conversion. What was can you kind of take me through that, and were you at all surprised that you guys decided to do that?
No, I mean, I think we have really good coaches and we trust them, and it was kind of, I had run pass options and different things, but they had it guarded up pretty well. So yeah.
Nick and Katron both went for over 100 yards. It's probably your best rushing performance since the the early weeks of the season. What was the key to kind of getting them going?
I think it started kind of up front with the O-linemen and the tight ends. I feel like we did a pretty good job of blocking up our schemes, and then they made a lot of great runs and making guys miss and bounce off tackles. So I think it's a credit to the O-line and then obviously the two running backs as well.